All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the price action for Monday, and also let me just show you some of the stuff on the charts here that we're looking at. So if we look at the last price action, so if we move, let me open this back up here. So we can see that Monday opened up here at 7 o'clock. You can see the price action through here. Today, actually, right now, we're sitting at this level. So you can see that the price action ran up through yesterday's price action. We did get a top out. We hit the main break flip zone, if you will, where the support resistance was fighting. And then you can see this break broke on down through the evening, and now we're breaking back out of this current trend that you can see. This is the 4-hour bigger pattern here on the 4-hour consolidation, and looks like it's going to continue to fall. You can also look at the 1-hour bigger flag as well in here. Now that we're looking at breaking down here, but the 15-minute. What I want to show you a little bit on this is the 4-hour current breakdown of levels that I'm looking for. So this is the 30-minute candle here on the 15, or the 30-minute candle here in the opening on Monday. So it's right through here. You can see that we just kind of bounced back and forth through that level, and we still continue to break through that. You can see that the current price action as of Tuesday morning here, that it is starting to play out. Obviously, this is the 30-minute candle right in here, and it's showing breakdown off of that. Continuing the current behavior. So the weekly close that we had, let me go ahead and close this out and then put this on. These are key levels that I'm looking at on the weekly for support. So you have this monthly resistance way up here. That's just our high wick that we went through. Then we have the weekly candle low, which is right here. This is the week prior. And the reason why I like to mark this stuff out is because this also tells us kind of what's going to happen. So this is the key level from prior week. So right here is kind of the turn zone. So just if 94,500 is an area that we're kind of split in sand right here. And if you go out to the weekly and take a look at this, you can see the weekly is starting to try to turn. So you do see some turn. But if you go down to your 3-hour or 3-day, you can see this rolling over. The MACD is starting to show possible rollover here in the histogram. You can see breakdown here as the RSI tried to drive up. And if you keep going down through the days, this just is starting to confirm even more. So 2-day, you can see the histogram is now starting to set even more. If you go down to the daily, it's actually the histogram is crossed through and actually showing red behavior. You get across here on the MACD, and this RSI is rolling over, showing that it's exhaustion, starting to pull back. Soches have already been pulling back. And the reason why I'm showing you this so you can help you learn how to read price action. So you can see all the lower time frames are already starting to roll over and show this, and it's just building up to the longer time frame. So you have to watch price action to know, well, is the weekly, because all this stuff is lagging indicators. The data has to be printed for it to be able to confirm it. So as of right now, if you just looked at the weekly, you would say, well, it's running up, the histogram has turned and started to go up, and this is pushing forward or pushing up back up into the slow moving average. Those will probably cross and run this on up, and we're going to get this great run. But the price action had a great run. You can see that it had a run right through here, another candle up, next week candle up, and then all of a sudden this candle right here printed, which was last week. That was a big red flag of how this candle was printed. And now this week is starting to confirm really what the lower time frames have already been trying to call out for us. So I do expect this to pull back and be a healthy pullback. So I went ahead and marked my levels on my chart for 5.4 through 5.11, and I'm going to watch these key levels. And this is what I'm looking forward to test and work within. So right now I'm on the weekly, and you can see that there's different zones I have drawn on here, and this is where I'm going to watch. So at this point, I'm watching for this to break back down through the 92,600 level and expect it to come down and hit the 88,114 level. So that's the week. Then we can go ahead and take a look at the daily, and this is really where I like to analyze. The week is a lot longer, so I like to look at the daily on down typically. So every day I'm looking at the 4-hour, 1 hour, 15, and 5 minute typically for the trade, and I'm usually looking at that before 8 o'clock or right after 8 o'clock is when I finally analyze everything. So right now I'm looking at, this is based on the weekly that I was just talking about. So a breakdown scenario, a daily close below 92,000 could trigger a downslide momentum towards 88,000. The breakout zone scenario, though, I'm looking for a break or close above 97.9, may open and push us up to 102.5. So that's the scenario that I'm looking for in a bigger picture. So I'm playing the odds and trading based on what price action shows us. And the reason why I'm going through this a little bit right now, because this is the Monday recap. This will help us set up the week. These are the areas I'm looking for to go after. So you can see I have the big daily support at 91,832. That kind of basically triggers into this scenario that we're talking about, and that's right through here. You can see right now I'm on the weekly, and you can see the 21 has already rolled over and started to come down. And we're looking for these levels to break. So either we're just going to go in, really what I'm asking the price action to do is to hold right through here and just kind of go sideways and then push up, or am I going to see this run back down? And this is kind of where I want to see it run back down into, is right down into this current box and look at buying. And that's why I say the strong area for the right shoulder. That's what I'm looking for here in this box. And that would be my head and shoulder pattern I'm looking for. Let's go into the daily and look at this price action. So it's kind of broken down with those levels here on the daily. I am looking for it to create the left shoulder here, your head here, and then this right shoulder right around in this area is what I'm looking for it to kind of create. Now we could come down in right here and hit this 88 level. It's going to be right on top of my zone. We'll watch for that as well. Down here, this is the weekly and daily major bulls and bear support. If you lose this flips the whole, like when people keep saying, hey, I'm bullish, hey, I'm bearish. It really doesn't matter. What it matters is really what trend are you in. So if we go out to the bigger time frames, we are all in a bullish trend. So if you just looked at all this ups and downs, it's just noise, and you could straighten it out. The longer you go, the straighter and cleaner it looks. So you do need to create levels in your chart to kind of know, well, if we lose this level right here, this is actually showing that we're flipping and going more bearish and not bullish anymore. So that trend has shifted, and now you're looking for lower lows and for it to restructure and build the longer time frames. As of right now, we're still very bullish momentum, and we're just in a pullback, and we're looking for this pullback. So you don't ever want to do a major short from like here and saying, hey, it's going to come down to here. If someone's calling it's hitting 53,000 and you're running a short all the way down here, be very careful, because this is who's really in charge here? And right now the bulls are still in charge. So we just got to look for setbacks and structure to maintain that until we start seeing more breakdown, and then it'll start to break down, and then we'll see major sell-off instead of push. So you kind of have to look at the main trends and then the lower trends. So the big trend is bullish. The current short-term trend is bearish. And if you dig into the daily, you're going to have bearish and bullish all throughout the day. So we have to build these key levels, and that's what we're looking for. And that's what I'm showing you right now. And this is how I chart this out this way. So I have my daily charting, my key level supports. I can turn them on and off, and clean up the charts when I'm trying to make decisions. I can turn my weekly on and see kind of where we're at to see how we are going to be out throughout the week. And are we breaking key levels, or are we holding key levels? I can look at that. And then the 4 hour today's levels, this was yesterday's levels that I'm looking at. So I'm going to start to reanalyze that here this morning, Tuesday morning, and break that down. I left it on here because we're doing a recap for Monday, and I'm showing you kind of what I've been looking for these levels. So you can see the area that I was just talking about here on the 4 hour or on the daily. You can see that it's at the same level here on the 4 hour. So no matter what time frame I'm on, I can look at it. So if I need to look at the 15-minute trying to make decisions, I can see all the dailies analysis from the 4 hour on down to tell me kind of what we need to do. And you can see, I'm going to go ahead and dig into price action now in the 15-minute. Now that I have all these levels and I've kind of talked about them. So this is the full Monday's trade right here. So you can see that we went ahead and drew the bear flag on here, and we had that all drawn out. You can see it constantly fought with the bottom here, and then it bounced and then started to run up. Now, if you're looking at your lower time frames on the 5, 1 minute, and trading within the 5 minute kind of stuff we talk about, you could have taken advantage of some of this movement in here. More or less, this is a lot of noise that's going on. You can see that it's testing. We had the breakdown through last week. We had the weekly close, and then now it's trying to say, hey, are we going to flip and confirm more downwards pressure, or are we going to rotate this? And you can see right here, this obviously rejected right in this level. If you were a bear and looking at that longer or short-term, stronger pullback into the lower levels, this is right here was that key level that it didn't retain throughout yesterday. So we didn't see the 95,000 level really broken. So it tried it, broke down. You have the 200 on the 15-minute constantly putting pressure. You can see that price action tried to rotate right through here and lost itself very quickly. The bears took back over, and now you can see that we are falling back out, and we're losing this bear flag, and we're looking at going lower through there. So even a back test last night after price action closed for the evening, you can see this evening price action through here. Right now there is a pretty good battle because this is a pretty solid area that has a lot of resistance built up that we're fighting in right now to rotate through. So we do expect to see some of this volatility through here as we start to break down and get this little pullback that I see us looking at. You can also see how the 30-minute level yesterday from Monday's trade, you can see it's a very tight pattern right here on that 30-minute candle, and you can see how it fought through those levels. Came down, broke down, came right back up, bounced back and forth, broke back through, bounced around underneath again, and then finally snapped up and did a nice little run up. So if you were dug in and trading throughout the day, these were key levels of support and resistance to be able to take trade opportunities. So I'm not going to dig into that because that's very precision trading. If you're going to get into that, you need to learn how to do some of the stuff that I'm talking about right here and take advantage of it. As of right now, it's better to take bigger opportunities and bigger trades. So if you're looking at taking a short, right now as it's losing this level, you could say, hey, I'm going to put a stop above this level, or you could say, hey, I'm going to build above this key level of support. If we lose this, the bears lose out and the bulls take back over, and I know we're going to go up. I want to get out of this trade. Obviously, you could get out at certain levels as you see it fight, just like you see it through here, and get on out. And then you could look at drawing this on out. like I said, you're better off to always put green in the account than to constantly be paper cut it out, which basically means that if you're always running a stop tight, it bounces up, takes you out, you put the trade back on. As it breaks back down, you put the stop again super tight. It comes up, whipsaws you out, trades again. You're constantly getting paper cutted, if you will, and paper cut still will bleed you out over time. So it's always better to trade with key levels as you're trading and use that to your advantage. So I'll go ahead and dig into the more price action and look for larger trade opportunities. As of right now, you can see we're in a consolidating down. We are in a breakdown pattern. So if I was looking for trades, I'm looking for it to hit key levels of my support, which right here was the key level. If I was going to trade through the night after I saw this, I would have been pretty excited, and I would have looked for more the 21 breakdown. So this is where I would start looking at getting back into this and take off the opportunity here and then trade this on out. And these are the levels of support areas that I'm looking for. And if I zoom in, a little bit, you can see right here, I have this key level. It's just a big round psychological number. It has a lot of resistance and support around here at that 93,000. So I would look at taking a chunk of my trade off or take all my trade off here at this level, because what I don't want to have to do is bounce and then rip back up and then go and try to test this level before we have a harder fall. That could possibly happen. And you can see it fighting right through here and doing that. And right here on this last candle here in the 15-minute, the low is 93,329, and then we try to fight back up again. So it's fighting pretty hard right here. And I'm talking actually about the 15-minute here on the Tuesday in current price action, but I'm not going to spend too much time here, I guess, on the 15-minute price action, because everything I'm talking about is the same information right here. I just want to kind of show you looking at it live and taking advantage of these moves and using these levels and while you mark out your charts. So that's about it for current price action and what's going on, and looking at Monday's recap and key levels every week. This is something that I always do to build up my charts and take advantage of the market. Again, I do use AI trading assistant that I've built a prompt for, and I provide it with the weekly information so we can get these key levels. I obviously look at the chart myself and analyze it to agree and read my tools as well. Human aspect, you can't let AI actually trade for you. You need to trade. Use just an assistant to help you cut down a lot of the labor and the time that it takes to build out these key levels. So that is about it for today. We'll go ahead and do a Tuesday recap and analyze more of the price action that happens throughout Tuesday. Thank you, guys.